Well, we're heading into the final hour of trading. Stocks are sinking on a combination of things. Tech worries with the Apple sell-off, but a whole lot of other things, too. Here now to discuss, FundX Chief Investment Strategist Jason Browne and Erin Gibbs are back with us as well. Jason, what's your biggest concern right now?
I think the biggest concern is really that investors that might have been kind of on autopilot for the last year or so, might just finally be waking up to the fact that things are changing. And I'm just hoping they're paying attention a little bit. This is a great time to maybe reflect and say, is your portfolio doing what you expect it to be doing? And if not,
what should they be seeing, though? What's the epiphany that that these investors should be having, other than 6 stocks can't go up forever, indefinitely forever, and maybe you got to spread the risk or something like that?
Well, I think market leadership definitely changes over time. At FundX, for example, we've been avoiding foreign and emerging markets for some time now, and we've been heavy in U.S. growth. U.S. growth, obviously, is still a leader from our perspective, but it's joined by dividend funds and some of these more defensive names. I think that's important to recognize. I think the other thing is to at least be open to the possibility that this market could get worse before it gets better, and to make sure that you're positioned in a way that hopefully would allow you to buy in at lower levels and certainly wouldn't cause you to sell.
So that means you're going to have some cash, essentially what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, over the last year or so, we've certainly done some trimming into rallies, and I think as you start to see more and more confirmation of areas of concern and so forth, being open to that, and at least, if nothing else, being comfortable that you're getting the level of defense in your portfolio that you need.
One thing I will say, Erin, is that investors, they have become accustomed to buying dips, and because buying the dips has worked for almost a decade. And so, investors that I speak to are more or less now, as opposed to, like, let's say 2001 or 2008, 2009, are more likely to ask, hey, what do I buy on this dip? Is that a good thing or a bad thing in your mind?
I think in general, it's good that they understand that there are ups and downs, there's inherent volatility. My concern, just when I do conferences and speak to investors, is that perhaps there has been an overweight in equities. People forget that there's a reason to have fixed income and other asset classes in your portfolios, and to understand which each one plays a role in your investment goals. But certainly these dips can at times last a fair amount of time, or we can always trade sideways, where we're just sort of hovering around. This has sort of been like,
I say it's not a bull or bear market, it's a shark market, because we know when a shark stops moving, it dies, right? Yep. This thing is either higher, like straight up, or going straight down. It's been really rare to get a sort of idyllic, just a drift, if you will. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, or what the meaning of all of that is, but the emotional turns of this market are taking a toll on investors, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think so to some extent, although at the same time, we really aren't necessarily seeing a huge emotional response. And I think
this has been somewhat orderly.
It has, yeah.
But violent,
despite big headlines, despite pretty major headlines, and maybe but the market tends to shake it off within a couple of hours for most of this year, when we've had sort of big upturns, and we've been able to.
Any key things you're looking for here between now and the end of the year that can dictate direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, like everybody else, we're looking to see volatility try to come in a little bit. Anytime you start to see these big swings, we're reminded that volatility tends to be greater in bear markets than it is in bull markets.
Right.
And so even though you get the big up days, it tends to be an opportunity to sell those
rallies. Real quick, Erin, we resolve Florida, Georgia, and Arizona. Should that help? We were up big last Wednesday.
At this point, yeah, I think that's sort of a side story. I don't know if that's really going to move the markets. I think oil's more of a headline these days.
All right. Well, thank you both very much.